And phase two of this fight, you know, second verse, same as the first, as they say. We still have to throw our chaff grenades. We still have to dodge these missiles. We're going to throw another chaff grenade. And now we got to target Liquid himself. Throw out more chaff. Okay, okay. So I do like this fight, but I wish there was a little more let. I wish you could sort of play around with it a little more. But it does create a lot of... Good lord. A lot of tension, especially since I don't have any rations left. And here's a fun piece of trivia. Okay, there's a ration. If you fail at this part, you have to start the whole thing over again. So that's cool. We're going to try to not let that happen. Like I said, there's not a lot of let. But if you do the motions properly, you're not in too much danger. Yeah, that's the only thing, though. You don't want the radar to clear. Kind of want to be in a constant jam state. Oh, I think that missed because he moved. It did. All right. Like, I know the rhythm, but even still, it does genuinely stress me out a little bit, this fight, because of how tight it tends to get. I'm going to throw another. Yep. It's 3 missiles, but man, they come close. And I feel like the further into the fight you get, the pattern just gets a little dicier each time. And it should only be 1 or 2 hits left. Hopefully I can do that without incident. I didn't, though. That's my last... No, don't crawl, Snake! You fool! Okay. Okay. And there we go. Holy heck. Yep, we're jamming. Don't think just jam.
Crush you into dust.
Well-timed dramatic explosion. It's a cool fight. It's just, man. Man, is it stressful. So I mentioned it a lot of Disc 2. Not a lot of gameplay, a lot of cutscenes, so strap in. Because we're about to get some facts and trivia, because that was the penultimate boss. There's one more encounter we'll have. But this dude's gonna talk at us a lot. Man, that's a cool shot. Also, notice how Rex is leaning against the side of the arena there. Remember that for 9 years in the future. Hey.
Sleeping late as usual.
Yeah.
Liquid.
Oh, where are we?
You're still alive. I won't die as long as you still live. Too bad. It looks like your revolution was a failure. Just because you've destroyed Metal Gear doesn't mean I am done fighting.
Oh.
Fighting? What do you really after? A world where warriors like us are honored as we once were, as we should be. That was Big Boss's fantasy. It was his dying wish. When he was young, during
9 years, yep.
the world needed.
Oh, you'll see. You'll see. Don't you worry.
We were valued then. We were desired. But things, are different now.
Now, it won't be 9 years in real time,
It's running the world.
but it'll be a little
It
bit.
isn't what it used to be. We're losing our place in a world that no longer needs
Well,
us.
Liquid, I mean, if this was your problem, I feel like you could have just gone to town hall and said that, like, you know, veterans need more benefits or something.
After I launch this weapon and get our
Hey, he's
billion
floating a little
dollars,
bit.
we'll be able to bring chaos and honor back to this
Look,
world.
he's floating a little bit. I never noticed that.
Conflict will breed conflict. New
What
hate
order am I going to play in? I am going to play in release order.
in our sphere of influence. But as long as
So,
there are
and
people, there will always be war.
I'll talk over him a little bit.
Is balance.
Yeah, after this, I'll play MGS2, and then I will play Twin Snakes. And then 3, and then 4,
Isn't enough.
and
Such as
then...
us. I don't want that kind of.
We'll see where we are.
So why are you here then? Why do you
And Rising, of
continue
course.
to
Gotta do
follow
Rising
your
after
orders
4.
While your superiors betray you? Why did you come here? Well, I'll tell you then. You enjoy.
I want to do the spin-offs, like Portable Ops and Peace Walker.
Haven't you already killed most of my comrades?
But I'll have to see where,
I watched your face when you
how long it takes, you know? I want to prioritize the numbered entries first.
battle. You're wrong. There's a killer inside you. You don't have to deny it. We were created to be that way. Created?
Not to completely talk over Liquid, pretty much explaining like, oh, Snake, you love battle, you love fighting,
Terrible.
you like playing a cool video game where you can sneak around, and that's why, even though it's really obvious you're being tricked, you're just listening to your orders. It's a bit of a meta-narrative, Snake.
Possible. The person that they chose as the model was the man.
And now he's explaining Les Enfants Terribles, which we'll get into, but yeah.
But Father was
Snake, do you know Big Chungus?
brought him in. So they created us from his cells. With a combination
Now this is all pretty commonly known stuff for anyone, even if this is your first time playing.
they fertilized it
Right,
with one of
the
Father's
super baby method. Yeah, this is pretty commonly known stuff, even if this is your first time seeing Metal Gear Solid.
aborted 6 of the
Solid and Liquid Snake are clones of
and I
Big
were
Boss.
originally Octo-
They are imperfect clones.
Yes. The other 6
Liquid
were sacrificed
believes
to make us.
him to believes himself to have all of the recessive genes, and Solid Snake to have all of the dominant
So it was
genes.
you and I.
That's not really how it works.
Exactly the same
Recessive
DNA.
genes aren't necessarily weaker.
They weren't.
They're just recessive traits.
They used me as a guinea pig to create a phenotype in which all of the dominant
See?
genes were expressed.
Now this is
To
what
create
Liquid
You. I got all of the recessive genes.
was told.
You took everything from me before I was even born.
And
But
the message of this game kind of is that your genes don't make you and you shouldn't put so much
the genome soldiers,
emphasis
their
on them.
tourist progeny, carrying on
You
this
know, and
genetic legacy.
granted, most of us aren't genetic super soldiers, but I feel like it's a relatable message, you know?
Completion of the human genome.
It's very common for people of all cultures to be compared to their elders, their parental figures, like, oh, you're just like your father, oh, you'll never amount to nothing, oh,
Everything from
etc., etc. So I do like the message of this game essentially being that all of this genetic super soldier shit doesn't matter because it's really not your genes who make you who you are. It's how you live your life, you know, what you decide to do, your choices and your actions who make you who you are. And I think that's a good message. And I'm kind of saying that now because
That's right.
this is a lot of information to take in.
Created artificially through the alignment of nucleotides.
And we'll get into that message a little later, but I do feel like it's a I think it's a good message. I think it's told in a extremely bizarre, over the top way of a battle of brothers destined to fight for all eternity. One the brother of light and the other the brother of dark, and it's, you know, I like when stuff is kind of absurd but has a good message. Also, look, real footage. Ah. So this, though, is... I bring this up because at this point in the game, we start to get into where the way they're working the lore of the game into real history is a little... I see people with Metal Gear get kind of confused often. That they think that the... What am I trying to say? They'll see a scene like this and they'll think that you should believe in wacky conspiracy theories about how, you know, everything's hidden and it's probably some genetic... You know, I see a lot of people get the wrong message. The reason they're... And I'll talk about this more in later games, but, you know, they're working Les Enfants Terribles into Gulf War Syndrome because it's interesting for the video game and it creates an interesting backdrop. They don't really want you to think stuff like that is real, though. Again, the real message of the game is that your genes don't actually make you who you are. I always saw Peace Walker as vital and Portable Ops as optional, but Force Encyclopedia talked about it, and I was so confused seeing that stuff for the first time. Yeah, Portable Ops actually... So Portable Ops being optional... That's also false information. Portable Ops is so vital that MGS4 was actually delayed to allow Portable Ops to be finished and released, so they could work the and rewrite part of MGS4 to work in that part of the plot a little better. But yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Soldiers, you can't fight your genes. It's fate. All living things are born for the sole purpose of passing on.
So yeah, a lot of what Liquid is saying here about genes and passing on your genes, and you have to, you know, what's going on here is it's all like metaphorical, you know. Liquid Liquid is expressing a lot of bad messages that I feel a lot of people get, you know, that you have to pass on your genes and you have to settle down and all these... Oh, hey, Meryl.
Is she alive? I'm not sure.
And
She was alive.
I don't know, I like the idea of...
Poor girl kept calling your name. Meryl. Stupid.
genetics kind of being like a trap like that.
Have a name. I have a name. No, we have no past, no future, and even if we did, it wouldn't be truly ours. You and I are just copies of our father.
And see, this is... I bring this up because, yeah, I like this part of the game a lot. I know I'm talking all over it, but it's kind of difficult to parse out the lore from the themes and the messages because, boy, this guy's talking a lot, and I'm talking a lot over him. But I like that Snake rejects all of these notions. Solid Snake is like, no.
Colonel, can you hear me?
Oh.
Yes, I'm listening. What is the Pentagon trying to do? Colonel, answer me. The Secretary of Defense has taken over active control of this operation. He's on his way there by AWACS. What for? To bomb the place.
Oh, that's not good.
Not only that, B-2 bombers just lifted off from Galena Air Force Base.
Yeah, I kind of like that
B-6113
you can look at a lot of what's being said between Solid Snake and Liquid Snake, you know, as it's very metaphorical for a lot of things in real life. I'm sure a lot of us have heard, you know, oh, you've got good genes, or your genes are destined to do this, or like, oh, you're just like your father, oh, your grandfather did this, it's your genes. Everything you are is just your genes. It's just your genes. You don't have any individuality. It's just your genes, and you got to pass on those genes to gene. And Solid Snake, on the other hand, is like, he rejects a lot of those notions. He's learned a lot throughout the course of this game, and he's like, I want to take my life into my own hands, and I want to fight for what I believe in, like Gray Fox said. Again, Gray Fox, he said that he treated Naomi as his real sister, even despite the fact they weren't blood related. And Naomi looked up to him and respected him and cherished him in the way you would cherish an older sibling who takes care of you. So I think it's interesting having a lot of this stuff dumped on you at once, because it's supposed to make you think about real life. It's supposed to make you take a message from the game and apply it to real life, and I really like that. I really do. Anyway, I'm talking over a lot of plot that's going on. Oh my God, it's Abe Lincoln. No, it's Jim Houseman.
Secretary of Defense, Jim Houseman. Put the colonel back on. He's been placed under
I love how evil he is.
Top secret information, and for the crime of high treason. Ridiculous.
You look like your mother. It's because of your genes. She likes denim. Nice.
He truly believed that he was in command of this operation. You bastard. There won't be a speck of evidence left.
Why is he so evil?
I'm sure the president would want the same thing. President ordered this? The president is a busy man.
The president at this point again is the fictional president George Sears.
How do you plan on explaining a nuclear attack on Alaska to the media? Don't worry. We've prepared a convincing cover story. We'll simply say that the terrorists exploded a nuclear device. Smart. You'll be murdering everyone here. The scientists, the Genome Army, everyone. Donald, the DARPA chief, is already dead. So, you didn't mean to kill the DARPA chief after all? He was my friend. And you could care less about what happens to everybody else, huh? Well, if you give me the optic disc, I might consider...
I just love that he...
What are you talking about?
Jim Houseman is introduced like out of nowhere, and he's got so much aura and charisma. He's like, well, if you just
from the 1970s.
like just all of his lines, he's great. He's great.
You can't be allowed to live. Well,
He's such a ham.
will be dropping soon, and you two have a lot of catching up to do.
Like, what is that delivery? He's so blasé about it. What an asshole. I love him.
No way out for us.
Anyway, yeah, I feel like it's kind of important to talk about
Finish this before the airstrike.
a lot with these games, because I've seen some head-ass takes from people who think they get it,
Everything for me.
and they don't realize that a lot of the...
Only your death can satisfy me. Only your death can return to me what is rightly mine. She'll make a beautiful sacrifice.
Man,
for
you're
our
weird.
final battle.
You're a weird dude, Liquid. Yeah, I feel like people really get the wrong messages from these games.
It will be the time
They
limit
think a
for
lot
our
of the
final
political and,
This nuclear module is set to detonate
you know,
at the precise
scientific commentary and stuff should be taken hyper literal. It's still a very political game series, make no mistake, but a lot of the time it's to be a backdrop for a much more human, much more civilian, pedestrian
couldn't
lesson.
enjoy one brief moment of love.
Such as right here, where sometimes, you know,
If you
your
cross
brother's
this
being a
line,
stupid idiot and you gotta just beat the absolute hell out of him shirtless on top of a giant robot.
have at you, Snake.
Who hasn't been there? Yeah, so now we got a fist fight with Liquid, and this is not the greatest fighting game ever made. Liquid's got some weird tells. I'm gonna do my best. But... oh, it's a weird fight. Oh, it's a weird fight. Yeah, he does that kick. How do I... okay. I know there's an infinite, Because of course there is. But I don't remember. It's something like that. Where you can... Yeah, you don't want to get hit by that. Something with, like, just punching him and not doing the kick. And I think you can use the menu to frame by frame it. No. I don't remember how it works. Also, don't have any rations. Oh. Yeah, he's gonna win. He's gonna win. Metal Gear Solid, not the greatest fighting game of all time, I'll tell you that much for free. But, you know, a pretty good lesson to take about genes not really being who you are, even though society and those around you want to tell you that that's all there is to you is your genes. Again, Liquid is very much trapped by his genes. And, well, Snake just died, so... We're not going to be trapped by genes or game overs. We're going to give it another shot.